Well, our main banana trees here, a little thing of them, has got a bloom fixing to open. So we're gonna look at our banana mound here, and no sign yet of any blooms. You know, that thing there is actually a satellite mount. It's not a bloom coming off the mound. A lot of things are wilting out here. There's the pumpkin squash, whatever, zucchini hybrid. Another pineapple guava that I've had laying in water, sitting in a bucket of water for a long time. I guess the water dried up and it's wilted. Here we have a root sucker to like a 20-year-old pawpaw. Now look at that, it's drooping in quite a bit of shade here. I don't know if I've ever seen our pawpaws that are established have drooping leaves like this. The drought is just bad. Look at this Illinois everbearing mulberry. It's shooting off more blooms, and mulberry season is over. This is very strange. Almost every day, at some point in the day, the weather service or whatever says rain is expected somewhere, whether it's a sprinkle for 10 minutes or whatever. And we had, you know, thunder off and on for like an hour last night, no rain. The other day, actually 2 different days in the last week, we were expecting rain. No rain here. We went to our little shopping area, which is, 7-8 miles away, and kind of in that midpoint, maybe 4 miles away, we got rain in that little section 2 different times. It wasn't a hard rain, just a sprinkle. But, that's the only rain these areas have gotten, I guess, in the last week or 2. Look at all of these sweet potato vines that are just wilting. These guys like it hot. They survive and thrive, in many cases, in desert-like conditions where no nutrients is in the soil. This other little avocado we planted last season in raised bed number 1, it could die. It's looking terrible. There are a few green leaves that are looking bad, but mostly brown leaves. Hopefully it'll do a reset. Hopefully we'll get some rain, despite our best efforts to keep it watered, as much as possible. And I hate to put like negative content out there for you guys to dissuade you, but hey, you have a bad season sometimes. Flooding is going to probably cause as much damage, if not more, if you have a major flood that destroys everything, the same as drought. Of course, drought and heat, if we known, we could have put drip systems maybe here in place, or just put them in a more shady area, or put a canopy over everything. I guess you guys can learn from us not being prepared properly for drought. Avocados, in the best circumstances, have a low root system, so they may not be able to tap down deep in that water, reservoir. And when you're doing the aged wood chip or this sort of modified version, you do not have the density and, probably not the capability to hold as much moisture in the roots until a lot of this carbon, breaks down over a 2 or 3 year period. Elderberries, there are still ones in bloom. There's still green ones. We could be picking elderberries because there's a lot of ripe ones. And look at this big cluster of ripe ones, and then there's some green ones right here. There's a bunch of ripe ones on this little patch alone. So yeah, we got tons and tons of green ones, maybe 15%, black and ready here. And like I said, there's some that are still just now flowering, and some of them may not even have the flowers open. So we could be picking for weeks, if not months. We're going to bottom soak this Mayhaw here, this double G grafted one, because it has some green leaves left, but it still has a lot of brown and dying leaves. And we've been watering it about every day in the pot, but I guess the water is just not saturating the soil. So let's just bottom soak it, see if we can save it. Surprised that the guava, Cattleya guavas or whatever, are still sticking on to the bush here, despite, it being droughty. So a lot of people right now are complaining about fruit drop and losing their crops. That one there has some kind of like sun scald or scabbing or something on it. I'm not sure. Let's see if we can get it to, there we go. Wetland Zone 1 is not a wetlands this year. I mean, just look at all the brown material down there that's just drying up, dying and turning to dust. Well, we have some Rosa Sharon or Althea here blooming despite the drought. And I think we're going to end this year. We're just taking it one day at a time, hoping for rain, hoping for the best, hoping that by the end of this year we'll be better off than we were last year, despite, you know, obvious losses and potential losses. Take care, guys. Well, it looks like we're finally getting some rain. This is the second phase of thundering today. It's almost 7 p.m. and as you can hear, it's thundering and a light rain. I haven't compiled the video yet from earlier today, so there we go. Let's just hope that we get more.